What's happening? Welcome to Rego Games. We are playing chess today. I have been on a journey to get to 1000 elo. It's harder than it looks, especially when you suck the big one like I do at chess. However, I've just logged back into this account. Turns out that they detected some cheating going on and they've upped our elo. We last played it was 599. Now it's 619. So they've given us some elo back for the cheating scumbags that literally we've been playing. Anyway, we're going to be playing 30-minute rapid to give us a bit more time to think. We're going to try not to overcomplicate it too much. Let's get straight into this. I'm still learning the lingo regarding the A to H 128. So we're going to bring the queen's pawn out. D4 objective, just try and take the center early on in the game, develop our pieces, not double cross our pawns, knights on the rim of Grim, don't block our pieces in, job's a good one. One attacker, one defender. Maybe try and get our bishop out. Okay, so he's not... Oh, don't tell me he's going for the... What's it called? Can't even think of what it's called. However, I'm thinking now, let's take the center with the pawns, since he didn't want it. I've watched a couple of videos where people push 3 pawns if they can. And then, obviously, defend. So right now, he's got an attacker, his knight. On f6, attacking my pawn on e4. I've currently got no defenders on that pawn. So I'm thinking, maybe just bring the... develop my bishop. Then if he takes, I can still take. Yeah. Or do I push my queen out? Just because the queen's got more power. Yeah. I'm going to do that. Bring my queen out. These pieces have still got opportunity to make the way out. Yeah, I'm kind of blocking it in, but at the same time, you can see it as the bishop's protecting. I can also develop my bishop to e2 and then castle. Okay. He's putting pressure on my queen. His bishop's back this knight, so I can't particularly take it. I'll probably just maybe... I don't particularly want to bring my queen out too early in the game, you see. So I'll probably just bring a 1 to the right. I don't want to move her too far right or too far left, because I don't know which way he's planning on castling. The odds are it'll probably be short, so bring the queen over there with the backing of the bishop. Oh no, he's about to fork me actually. What an absolute idiot. It's not going well, guys. This is not... Oh my god. It's not going well. This is not going well. That early in the game. Right. We're not castling. We're all out attacking. I've just done it again. Just done it fucking again! This is getting on my tits already. Big time. If I turn this round, I'm a grandmaster. Idea with the bishop to take his knight, or the rook to take his knight. Basically, just trying to take his pieces. We have got the centre. Oh my days. How's he finding all these? I feel like we've got another cheater on our hands. I really do. I really, really do. At this point, we've been playing not that long, and we've had 2 messages saying, "Oh, we've give you elo, we've give you elo because you're playing cheaters." How am I playing? I mean, I'm not set like that was rookie movements by myself. Granted, rookie movements. Rookie movements. Rookie Marciano. I literally want to quit, turn off the camera, and just forget about it. That's where I'm at. That is where I'm at. But if we were really at war right now, there's £1 million on the line, Max. You have to win this game of chess. There's £1 million on the line. He goes down, takes my other rook. I take his rook. Be nice to try and, I don't know, lure him in somehow. It's done. Checkmate. Saying that, take the pawn. Hopefully he's daft enough to take. It's not gonna be though. Probably push. Try and break some sort of centre down. If you're new here, we are currently playing chess. We are on the road to 1000 elo. It's proven difficult, I can't lie. Especially when I suck the big one at chess. Anyway, I've developed my own opening. I call it the pony prevention. And that's the opening we're going to be playing with today. So we're currently at 584 elo. We're playing 30-minute rapids. Without further ado, let's get straight into this. Okay, so we're playing a 650 elo. Right, we're going to start with the queen's pawn to d4. Basically, pony prevention opening, what I've made myself, is, for if you're new here, it's basically once the knight comes in, that knight can then obviously target the two squares. To prevent that from happening, I am going to simply utilize my pawns to prevent his knight from jumping in, aka pony prevention. Right. This is just like, I've been playing on my phone and I've been doing this recently. And then hopping my knight in to okay, so here we go, pony prevention. This is what I'm referring to. So the knight can now jump into these two squares, e4 and g4. So what I'm going to do is basically push my pawn on f2 just to f3, which is going to prevent his knight from being able to jump in. And that's it, plain and simple. And I know my pawns are all starting to move out, and I'm not developed yet. But I'm convinced that under 1,000 elo, all this learn this opening and learn that opening, it's irrelevant. It's absolutely irrelevant, especially when there's, you know. So now he's bringing his queen out. What's he really doing? You know what I'm saying? He's not developing his pieces, and this is what I'm literally referring to. So all I'm going to do now is continue to develop my pieces. So what are his weaknesses? So far, I suppose that file is a potential weakness because his king's exposed. I could push my bishop to b5, but then all he has to do is drop a pawn, and then I've got to move my bishop again. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to simply develop my my pieces. So I'll probably maybe just. I want to look to castle as well, so maybe start moving these pieces out. Bring my bishop to d3. Obviously, that will be securing them two files. Not only that, it's developing my bishop, and then it leaves room for me to hop my knight out and then castle. Let's do that. Pawn on e3 protecting pawn on e4. Okay, so now he's got pawn, take, take. Who does that benefit? Or I just leave it for now and I continue developing. So I'm thinking maybe before I hop the knight across, maybe bring the queen up. So if he does take and then I take, straight away he's in check. However, how could I utilize that to maybe take his queen out? Do you know what I'm saying? Let me have a think about this, because we're going to create basically a discovered check on the king. Is there a way of creating a discovered check and taking his queen out at the same time? Hmm. What if I was to maybe do that with the queen? He takes, and then I don't take straight away. I pull the bishop out, putting pressure on the king. He could either drop his bishop or drop his pawn. And then I take, but then all he has to do is drop the bishop. So, too early in the game, I reckon. But I am going to bring the queen out regardless. And if he takes, take, discovered check, try and disrupt a potential opportunity of him castling himself. Pony prevention. So what I'm going to do now is just simply bring my pawn, create the pyramid, and prevent the knight. If he was to take, I take. He takes, I take. Take, take. Discovered check. Take, take. Pony prevention. It's the only opening you need. Could push on a, because then his Knight can get in. Saying that, no, because if I push the pawn forward, he can't move the knight in because my queen can take him. But saying that, then he can take me. See, look, now he's dancing his pony. Knight's on the grip. Knight's on the rim. A grim. So I could force a check. Won't really do much for me. I could hop this pawn on b2 to b4, applying pressure on the knight. He won't be able to hop in because my pawn on a2 will be able to take him. But he could hop in here, and then I could take with my knight. He takes, I take. I'm going to do that. He's not going to take with his queen because I can just take this queen. I'm going to do that. My objective is basically get rid of his knights. I don't know why, but I'm under this impression that if I can take his knights out the game, I've got a better chance of winning. Right, okay, so now we exchange pieces. Is what it is. And like I said, people go, oh, you don't want to swap a bishop for a knight. These are both worth 3 points, as far as I'm concerned. People, for some reason, go on about bishops are better because, yeah, they can cover more angles. But I beg to differ. I really beg to differ. I really do. Like, I feel like me getting rid of his knight there has benefited me more. And now that's a hanging pawn. And he can't even bring his queen down. He can't bring his knight down. Just take that pawn. Get out of my side of the board, mate. Who do you think you are? Like, what do you think you're doing coming into my castle? Giving me problems? I don't think so. So now what I'm thinking, obviously he's putting pressure on my queen. I'm thinking, step up to b5. Put his king in check. He either drops, which he probably will, because he's not going to sacrifice his queen. In which case I go straight up. Put pressure on the rook. Infiltration station, baby. Infiltration station. He could offer up his queen, which is his best opportunity right now, I suppose, because then I won't be able to take his pawn on b7, because then his queen will be able to take me, and then I won't be able to take his queen back. So realistically, it's either move the king or put the queen in the way. Because if you drop the pawn, bing, now you got to react. You know what I'm saying? I also would like, yeah, see, guys punching in codes. So now his queen can't take my pawn because my knight can protect it. Yeah, I can't go up, but now that's a hanging pawn. And it takes away his ability to demolish the battle for Middle Earth. His knight still can't jump in. The queen's still got escape routes. Plenty. What could he do? Could take my knight. Okay. Oh. Okay. So that escape route's gone. Can't drop because his knight can get me. I could move across. But if I move across and then he drops... Sorry. If I move across and he drops a pawn, applying pressure to my queen, I can't move my queen to g4 because his bishop can get me. And I can't move my queen to g3 because his other bishop can get me. I also can't move to f5 because same reasons. And I can't move to h5 because his knight can get me. So my best opportunity right now, I'm thinking, is a5 and get my queen out harm's way. We caused enough damage here. We don't want to lose the queen. Not this early in the game. If he takes, I take. If he takes, I take. Either way. If he jumps in, I take. Looks good. Pony prevention, baby. Pony prevention. Okay, so now he's castled. So now I'm thinking maybe we do the same. Get the knight involved for an extra protection on the battle for Middle Earth. And create the opportunity to castle. Obviously, I could have moved my queen out the way. However, there's no immediate threat. Okay. So I don't want to hop my knight to g3 because he can sacrifice his bishop. And then for me to take the bishop back, I'd have to use my pawn on h2. That would free up my rook on the king side. Maybe I'd do that. I mean, the reason I'm against it is because I wanted to utilize this area for the castling purposes. Because obviously, there's been a breach in the defense this side. But now I'm thinking, maybe castle this way. And start utilizing, getting all my pieces across this side of the board. And then maybe it's a good thing that these pawns are gone. So I can never be checkmated on the bottom rank. My king will always have an opportunity to get out of there. Yeah, I'm thinking that. So with that being said, now what do I want to do? I could throw my knight in, lure him in, and free up the rook. I'm gonna do that. What other opportunities have I got? I could jump the knight into f4. Doesn't really do much. Doesn't do anything. I'm not going back. Yeah. And if I don't move it and he takes, I'd have to take my king. And that throws basically the ability to castle off. So let's lure him in. Let's lure him in, Potter. Bishop protecting. Pawn on e3. If he doesn't take and he continues to advance another piece or something, I'm thinking get my other knight involved. Yeah, okay, he's took the bait. Rook's free. Now we need to get these two out and castle this way. join the rooks up. Yeah, you could take... I could take you back. Not only that, I'm thinking... Thinking I could either get my queen across, causing him to react. He would have to then maybe drop his pawn to try and put pressure on the queen. I'm also thinking get my knight involved, getting my knight closer to where it needs to be to join the attack. Not only that, it puts pressure on the bishop. And then maybe think about moving the queen after. Because right now these 3 pawns are preventing the pony. Well, really, it's actually just that pawn, but still. Yeah, let's do that. Saying that, actually, if I was to move my knight there, I'm losing the ability to protect that pawn, so I can't do that. Maybe I throw the knight in on the rim. A3, putting pressure on the bishop to have to react and move. Yeah, and then my queen's got an escape route going upwards. Or, like I say, just throw her over there. Yeah, let's do that. Pressure on the bishop. The John Bishop. If he takes, I take. If he takes, I take. If he takes, I take. If he hops in, I take. Sorry. I don't want to breach this side just yet because all he's got to do is bring this rook, and then I've got to deal with the rook threat coming down the A file. So I'd rather not breach that if I can avoid it. Okay. What are you attacking? You're attacking all of them. You jump in there, can't do nothing about it. You jump in there, can't do nothing about it. If you jump in there, I can. So I'm thinking simple pimple, bishop, d2, protection. Yeah. That will dilly-dally do. I've also developed my last piece. Oh, okay. Okay. I see what you did last summer. So now, basically, if I was to take his knight, he takes with his rook. I'm in check. But the best form of defense is usually attack. If I come straight across, he has to react because the checkmate's on. I'm also considering G5 because A, it gives me another defender. But the only problem is if I do that and he doesn't take the bait of thinking, oh, I have to try and get his queen out of there, he could then hop in which I could take, or he could hop in that way. And if he hops in that way, I can't do anything about it, and I'm in check. I could take, in which case he could then take, and then I'm in check. I could just take, allow him to take me and forget castling. I could move the king up one, stop the attack down this side. If he jumps in this way, I can take him anyway. And then if I move the king to f2 and he jumps in with his knight, I can take with my pawn. Or do I just get rid? Or do I just get my queen across? I feel like if I get my queen across, he's going to have to react. But then, what does that do? Buys me a bit more time. Or do I just do what I said I was going to do and just take this puppy out the game? Yeah, he comes down with his rook, and then I just push up one anyway. Yeah, I'm thinking, actually, take the knight, he takes, I move. Then he could bring his queen in, but I could take, so he's not going to do that. However, if I could then, so imagine take king, then I don't know what he's going to do. But if I could get my queen, let's say, to f5, hopefully he won't see the check. There's a lot of hope involved, but I think that's what we're going to do. Because pony prevention, does it work? So I'm expecting, yeah. Question now is, do I bring my king onto f2 or d2? Hello? All right. My gut's telling me f2 just because I've got these defenders. Let's try and get my queen across now. Oh no, because he's probably going to back. But if he does, then... Oh no, because then he'll protect both of them. Another option would be bring the rook across, get my second rook involved, power drive through. Another option would be come straight across. Oh no. It's not looking good. This ain't looking good. Because he's got two attackers. If he drops, yeah, I can take. I need to get rid of this bishop now. All he has to do is move his queen to e6, and he's protecting his rook and his bishop at the same time, and he prevents me from getting my queen in. I don't like my odds right now. Do not like my odds. He's also preventing me getting my queen in again. And he's saved his knight. If his queen comes down, I can take. I don't like this. Don't like this one bit. I'm thinking maybe I need to get my rook across. Or I could put pressure on the queen. Yeah. But then if the queen comes down, can't do nothing about that. I'm going to bring my queen across. Put some pressure on. That's all I can really think of doing. I got to attack. My defensive game just ain't there. He pushes. I push up one. Stalls him. He might try and sacrifice his queen here. He could. If he brings his bishop up. I think that's checkmate, isn't it? That's... Oh, no. No.